David, I'm so excited for you to be here on the Sarah Carter Show again. I know you've been incredibly busy, and we haven't had a chance to actually talk or have you on the show to talk about your representation at the impeachment trial of President Trump and the incredible job you did. But I just want to say thank you so much for everything that you've done. And I want you to be able to explain to the audience, because in the intro, I told them about this. You represented the Democrats. You're a civil libertarian. You're a civil rights lawyer. You're a criminal defense lawyer. And I don't think people know enough about you and about your background and the reasons why you decided to stand up and defend President Trump in what you believed to be a complete hoax impeachment trial. So let's just start with that. How did you meet Trump, first of all? How did this happen?
I had a call. First of all, it's a great pleasure to be here. It's the best show out there, and it's a real pleasure for me to get to see you. Anyway,
thank you.
I got a call on a Sunday night about 4 weeks ago from Mark Meadows, then Chief of Staff, asking me out of the blue. I just finished dinner, and he asked whether I would consider representing the president in his impeachment trial. So I was really kind of taken aback. I'm just a little solo practitioner in Montgomery, Alabama. And so I was flattered and taken aback. And I said I would certainly consider it. We talked for a long time. And he said he would call me back the next day with the president. But about 2 hours later, the president called himself and recognized the voice right away. He didn't have to introduce himself. And again, we talked for a long time. And he asked me the same thing. We really got to know each other. And I said I would certainly consider it. I consider it a great honor to be called by the president of the United States under any circumstances. But in a second, I'll tell you why I think this case was even more than the usual circumstance. So we talked again on that Monday for a long time. I said I would consider it. Later in the week, I saw the name Butch Bowers out there, that they had hired him. So I thought it was over. And I sent a nice email, I think, to Mark Meadows saying, thanks for considering me. He said, actually, no, that was just one name that was leaked. We're going to get back to you. So they got back to me and they said they wanted me to quarterback that team. I wasn't sure they would go for it in South Carolina. They had about 5 lawyers on the team, and they never heard of me. So I don't know why they would accept it, but they graciously did. The president actually called him up and told him that he wanted me to do the speaking during the course of the trial. They were very gracious about it, and we hit it off also, but they just didn't work out. So by that weekend, they were out. President asked me if I would take the case on just myself. We only had about a week and a half to prepare, and I said, absolutely not.
Oh, wait, you only had a week and a half to prepare.
At that point,
I don't think people realize this. I remember this was a high stress moment because I called you during that time and you're like, I only have a week.
Yeah, that's right. It was 8 days actually from that Monday after they were out. And so I said, it's just too big for me. You need to get somebody else to help me. So they had a recommendation from a fellow who works in the House. They brought in this other firm from Pennsylvania. And then we, prepared it together. And we had to write a brief first, and kind of a long brief, and then prepare the presentation. But as to, that's how I got into it. And I spoke to the president, I guess, from that point forward, maybe 2-3 times a day. He was as gracious as could be with me, just pumping me up, great confidence, he said he had in me, and made me feel very good about all that. But then the why, I suppose, is, first of all, because he was the president of the United States calling me up, and that was a great honor. But secondly, I honestly felt, as presumptuous as it sounds, that I was representing the Constitution in this case. I thought that this was a broadside attack on the integrity of the institution of the presidency, period. Dangerous attack. Go ahead.
Do you believe they weaponized the impeachment process?
Absolutely. Political weaponization of the impeachment process, partisan purposes, partisan agenda. Remember, he was out of office by the time the trial happened. They had one goal: bar Donald Trump from ever running for public office again. And in fact, then disenfranchise at least 74 million voters who wanted to cast their vote for him. And in the future, probably more. I happen to think from the way this impeachment trial went, that Donald Trump has great momentum from this and would have many more than 74 million voters today.